Sentences, Clauses, and Phrases, Part 1. In this module, we will learn about sentences in detail. By definition, a sentence is a group of words that make complete sense. So, a group of words that have a particular meaning is called a sentence. Raju hits the ball. Here, the individual words Raju, hits, the ball combine to form a group that has a particular meaning. Someone named Raju has hit the ball. Hence, this group of words makes a sentence. In this module, we will learn about parts of sentence in detail. A sentence consists of two parts. Subject. By definition, subject of a sentence is the person, place, thing, or idea being talked about. So, in a sentence, about whom it is being talked about is called the subject of a sentence. Saurabh is reading. Here, Saurabh is the subject of the sentence. He is the one about whom it is talked about in the sentence. Predicate. By definition, the predicate consists of a word or group of words which show what is being talked about the person, place, thing, or idea. So the word or words that indicate the quality of person or place or thing or idea that is being talked about in the sentence is called as predicate. He is driving. Here, is driving is the predicate as it is showing what the man is doing. The man is driving. Or we can say that predicate explains about what is being talked about the subject of the sentence. Sentences, Clauses, and Phrases, Part 2. In this module, we will learn about the division of sentences on the basis of purpose. On the basis of purpose, sentences are classified as declarative sentences. By definition, a declarative sentence makes some sort of declaration or statement. So, a sentence that conveys information or statement and does not ask question is called a declarative sentence. Arpita is a good speaker. Here is making an assertion or stating a fact that Arpita is a good speaker. Hence, it is a declarative sentence. Interrogative sentences. By definition, an interrogative sentence asks a question. So, a sentence that does not convey information or statement but asks a question is called as interrogative sentence. Where is my book? Here, the speaker of this sentence is asking something. Where is my book? Hence, this is an interrogative sentence. Imperative sentences. By definition, an imperative sentence makes a request or gives a command. So, a sentence that gives advice or instructions or that expresses a request or command is called an imperative sentence. Open the door. Here, the speaker is commanding someone to do something that is, to open the door. Hence, this is an imperative sentence. Exclamatory sentences. By definition, an exclamatory sentence expresses some strong feeling or emotion. So, any sentence expressing sudden emotion is called exclamatory sentence. Oh no, it is so hot. Here, the speaker of this sentence is exclaiming her disgust about heat. Hence, this sentence is showing a strong emotion of disgust. Hence, it is an exclamatory sentence. Sentences, clauses, and phrases, Part 3. In this module, we will learn about division of sentences on the basis of structure. On the basis of structure, sentences are classified as simple sentences. A simple sentence has only a single independent clause. So a simple sentence has single independent clause that stands by itself, and it expresses a complete thought. As you already know, clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate. The girls are playing. This is an example of an independent clause. It stands by itself and makes its meaning clear, that the girls are playing. A simple sentence has one subject and one predicate. So in a simple sentence, there is only one person or thing being talked about, and there is description of only one quality of one person or thing that is being talked about. Hari is reading the book. Here, the subject is Hari and the predicate is reading the book. Hence, the sentence has only one subject and one predicate. Two, a simple sentence conveys only one idea. So, only one idea is being expressed by a sentence. Joseph is showing his new home. Here, only one idea is expressed. Someone named Joseph is showing his home. 3. A simple sentence can have more than one subject. So, in a simple sentence, there can be two persons or things who are being talked about. Geeta and Seema are playing in the garden. Here, Geeta and Seema form the compound subject of the sentence. A simple sentence can have more than one verb. So, a simple sentence can have more than one verb that shows action or state of being. Amit is eating a burger and drinking cold drink. Here, eating and drinking are forming the compound verb of the sentence. Next type of sentence based on the structure is compound sentences. By definition, a compound sentence is made up of two or more independent clauses of the same importance, joined by a coordinating conjunction. So, a compound sentence contains two independent clauses, that is, clauses that stand by itself, that are joined by coordinating conjunctions, or conjunctions that connect words, phrases, and clauses. The room was dark, so we could not see anything. This sentence can be broken up into two independent clauses as follows. The room was dark, independent clause 1. We could not see anything, independent clause 2. Here, both the clauses are joined by the coordinating conjunctions so, showing that the idea contained in independent clause 2 or cannot see is the result of the idea contained in independent clause 1 or dark room. In the above example, the room is subject, was dark is predicate, we is subject, and could not see anything is predicate. It is very important to note that a compound sentence has two or more main clauses and each clause contains a subject and a predicate. So a compound sentence, that is, sentence made up of two or more independent clauses of the same importance, joined by a coordinating conjunction, contains two or more main clauses with each clause containing a subject, that is, person or thing who is being talked about, and a predicate, that is, quality of person or thing being talked about. Next type of sentence based on the structure is complex sentences. By definition, a complex sentence is made up of an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. So, complex sentence consists of an independent clause, that is, clause that stands by itself, and one or more dependent clauses, that is, clause that does not stand by itself. 1. Each dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun. So, in a complex sentence, each dependent clause or clause that does not stand by itself starts with a subordinating conjunction or conjunction that introduces dependent clause or a relative pronoun, that is, pronoun that marks a relative clause, subordinate clause that begins with a question word, example who, within a larger sentence. 2. The idea expressed by the independent clause is more important than the idea expressed by the dependent clause. So, in a complex sentence, the idea shown by the independent clause, clause that can stand by itself, assumes more importance than the idea shown by dependent clause, that is, clause that does not stand by itself. I have to leave early because I have to meet someone. This sentence can be broken up into two clauses as follows. I have to leave early, independent clause, because I have to meet someone, dependent clause. In the example given, the dependent clause starts with a subordinating conjunction because, as it depends upon the independent clause or clause that stands by itself, and it is quite evident that I have to leave early is conveying a more important idea than conveyed by the dependent clause because I have to meet someone. Sentences, clauses, and phrases, Part 4. In this module, we will learn about conditional sentences in detail. By definition, a sentence that is made to show that main clause depends on a condition, that is, the idea shown in the main clause is fulfilled on the condition that idea shown in the dependent clause is fulfilled, is called conditional sentence. The dependent clause in the sentence is called as the if clause. We can understand this by an example. If the boy had not stopped the bike, I could have got hurt. The sentence can be broken up into two clauses as follows. If the boy had not stopped the bike, if clause. I could have got hurt, main clause. Here, the action stated in the main clause, boy not getting hurt, can be fulfilled only on the condition that the idea stated in the if clause, the boy stops the bike on time, is fulfilled. That someone could escape getting hurt only if the boy stopped the bike on time. Hence, this is a conditional sentence. In this module, we will learn about types of conditional sentences. Zero conditional sentence. By definition, a sentence that consists of two clauses, an if clause and a main clause, is called zero conditional sentence. So, sentences having two clauses, if clause and main clause, is called zero conditional sentence. The meaning of most of the zero conditional sentence will mean same if the word when is used in place of if. Zero conditional sentence is used for telling general truths, facts related to science, and things that generally happen under certain conditions. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it changes into steam. In the sentence, a general fact about science is being told, and it contains a if clause and a main clause. It is important to note that here, in case of if, when is used and the meaning of the sentence will be same. Let us now see next type of conditional sentence. First conditional sentence. By definition, a sentence that is used for indicating something that may happen in the present or in the future is called first conditional sentence. So, sentence that indicates things that are happening in the present or things that will happen in future is called first conditional sentence. If you talk to my brother, he will tell you exactly where the jewels are hidden. Here, my brother knows where the jewels are hidden, and if you talk to him, he will tell you about the jewels. So, this sentence is a first conditional sentence as it is indicating that something can happen in the present if something is done. Let us now see next type of conditional sentence. Second conditional sentence. By definition, sentence that is used for indicating unreal situations in the present or in the future is called second conditional sentence. So, a sentence that is used for indicating the unreal things that have not been happening in the present, nor will they happen in future, is called second conditional sentence. Generally, second conditional sentence is used to express a wish. If I were you, I would approach this issue in a different way. Here, a wish is expressed as, I wish I could be you. I could have approached this issue in a different way. So, this is a second conditional sentence. Let us now see next type of conditional sentence. Third conditional sentence. By definition, a sentence that is used for indicating about things which did not happen in the past is called third conditional sentence. So, sentence that indicates things that did not occur in the past is called third conditional sentence. If he had been more observant, he would have solved the case. Here, somebody had not been observant in the past, hence the event of being observant has not happened in the past. Here, this is a third conditional sentence.